First meditation that I would like to do for you today is to help with the lungs. And in order for us to understand the lungs, I would like for you to just very simply think of your lungs as being this upside down tree. This tree that is magnificent with branches that go to one side to the right and the other branches that go to the left side. Think of it as this upside down tree with all these branches, and at the end of those branches have these little fruits called alveoli, and these little fruits are at the end. And I often think of these fruits as being like grapes that are attached to these stems. And those round little grapes called alveoli, their role is to be able to oxygenate the blood, so that when the blood is coming, it takes away the CO2, the carbon, anything that is toxic, and the alveoli introduces the oxygen into it, and so it cleanses it. That's the role of the alveoli. So think of it like this. That's how your lungs, right? The branches. And now I'm going to paint the alveoli here. So I'm going to make one big one. And so think of it as the blood is this river, and the alveoli is basically helping take anything that is toxic, take it out, and bring oxygenation to that blood. So now all of a sudden the blood is clean and it can travel. The problem with the alveoli is that when we have a virus, such as the COVID-19, the coronavirus, the alveoli gets inflamed. And what that means is that the wall of the alveoli gets thickened and it gets inflamed, and all of a sudden these fluids begin to invade the alveoli, and the alveoli have these little, I call it like little hairs, that its job is to cleanse. But because of the fluid is overflowing those hairs, all of a sudden when the blood is coming through, it's not able to oxygenate the blood. It's not able to do its job. And that's why we get this wheezing sensation that we can't breathe. So in this meditation, what we want to do is very simple. And this is why I don't mind you not worrying about hypnosis itself. What is most important for you is to understand that the imagery that your body needs is for you to see that we're going to connect a vacuum cleaner. That's right. We're going to connect a vacuum cleaner that is going to suck all these liquids. And then what we're going to do is we're going to plug in a heating system, maybe like a hair dryer, so that it will blow away all this residue of dead cells, and it dry out the system so that the alveoli can now be dry again and those little hairs can be clean, and therefore you're able to breathe. Now, for some people, this doesn't make sense because they're thinking, what if this doesn't work? That's the neocortex thinking like that. What I would like is for you to tell the neocortex, I'm going to put you aside for today, and I'm going to just trust that the imagination of seeing this somehow is going to get to the subcortical part of the brain. And the subcortical part of the brain, which is very intelligent because we have 50 trillion brilliant intelligent cells, they will know what to do. My job is to stay out of their way and just give them this instruction through this imagination, through this simple imagination, almost childish like, because the body knows what to do. And I just want you to trust it. So that aside, I would like for you to begin this meditation by taking some deep breaths. I would like for you to take some very slow deep breaths with me, and we will begin our hypnotic meditation. Let's take the first deep breath. And release it. And take another deep breath. And release it. And one more deep breath. And release it. And if it is difficult for you to breathe right now, it's okay. You're doing the best you can. What I would like for you is to focus right now on a bell. And I want you to look at the bell. And as I count to 3, you're going to notice that bell in front of you. And you're going to listen to the bell ring. And I want you to notice the sensations that you may feel as you listen to the bell. And if you cannot see the bell or hear it, that's fine too. I just want you to notice that you're in front of something large, like a bell, like 1, 2, and 3. And notice the bell. Notice what it feels like to be in front of this large bell. I want you to touch it. I want you to smell it. I want you to notice how hard it feels or how cold it feels. Notice its color, its texture. And in a moment, I am going to count from 10 down to the number 1, and with each number, you're going to notice that the bell is going to be ringing and ringing. And just pay attention to the sound. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. And as you listen to the sound of my voice, I want you to notice your eyelids. I want you to notice your eyelids for in a moment. I am going to ask you to imagine, sense, and feel that your eyelids are going to lock down so tight that you will not be able to open them. I want you to notice your eyelids. And as I count from 5 down to the number 1, your eyelids will lock down so tight that you will not be able to open them. Want that to happen. And then notice it happening. Let's begin. 5. Your eyelids are locking down tight. 4. Your eyelids are pressing down as if they were glued. 3. Your eyelids are sealing shut as if they were glued. 2. Any attempt that you try to open them causes them to lock down even tighter. And 1. Try to open them and finding your eyelids locking down tight. Good. Stop trying and allow that relaxation, that you have around your eyelids to start coming all the way down to the tips of your toes. And now, as you listen to the sound of my voice, I want you to ask the intelligent body that you have, the intelligent brain that you have, to give you some saliva in your mouth, because saliva in your mouth is one of the signs that we know that our two areas of our brain, the neocortex and the subcortex, are connected. And that means that our body is listening to us and we're connected with every single one of our organs. All the way from the lungs, all the way down through your heart, through your kidneys, all the way down to your rectum. And so what I would like is for you to tell your brain the following. In the same way that when I drive my car, if I move the steering wheel to the left, the car goes to the left. Or if I drive my car to the right, and then I move the steering wheel to the right, the car goes to the right. No questions asked. In the same way, I now ask you, my brain, my body, to give me some fresh saliva coming into my mouth. And now I take a nice deep breath. And then notice that some fresh, crystal clean, pure water is coming down a mountain, and it's coming down the mountain, and it's coming down all the way into your mouth as fresh, crystal clean, pure saliva. And this is how you know that your body and your brain is connected. Now, we're going to descend on a ladder or an escalator or an elevator. We're going to descend to the area of our lungs. And you are going to imagine yourself, imagine, sense, and feel that you are traveling. And as you are traveling down this elevator, escalator, or elevator, that you are going to be transforming yourself so tiny, so small, that you are going to notice yourself being so tiny, that you will be able to go inside of your lungs, inside of those tunnels of your lungs, of those branches of your trees. But the interesting thing is that as you descend with each number, you also see copies of yourself, and maybe even you might see your guardian angel just descending with you. And we're going to go all the way down, and I'm going to count from 10 down to the number 1, and with each number you are going to come down, descending all the way down to each one of those fruits called alveoli. And we're going to be inside. And you're going to notice how tiny you are and how large these alveoli are. With each number, as we descend, you notice that relaxation in you. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 2, and at the next number, I want you to notice yourself being inside this little grape, and you are noticing what it feels like to be in this bubble, this area, this chamber. And this chamber that is bringing oxygenation. But what I want you to do with the next number is that you're going to plug in a vacuum cleaner, some sort of a vacuum that is going to exhale and take away all the liquid that is inside of there. And I want you to just notice how this vacuum is absorbing all these liquids in a gentle way, but it's absorbing it. And let's do this. 1. And now just notice how you plug in this vacuum. And I'm going to count from 5 down to the number 1, and with each number, notice how this vacuum takes away this liquid. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And notice how this vacuum now is going to be multiplied so that you and your guardian angels are going to be in each one of the alveoli, in each one of those fruits inside with a vacuum. And you all are going to be busy just drying out that liquid. You see, we need to dry that liquid. And I want you to notice that as you dry, there's going to be those little hairs, almost like they look like little hairs from the bottom of the water, of if you've seen them on an aquarium, those little aquatic plants that are waving. But I want you to dry the entire place so that there's no liquid in there. No liquid. And we want those little hairs to be dry as possible. So we want to vacuum whatever liquid is left behind. And if you need to go underneath them in order to vacuum from underneath so that no liquid is anywhere, you can do that. I'm going to count again from 10 down to the number 1, and with each number, notice yourself vacuuming from underneath those little hairs, those just little aquatic plants, so that they will be without any liquids, so that they will be dry. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Notice how everything is dry, and just double check to make sure that it's dry, and if there's still some of those fruits that are still a little bit damp, I want you to dry it out to suck the liquids again with that vacuum, just to make sure that it's completely dry. I'm going to count again from 5 down to the number 1 and just try everything, every single one of those little fruits. Notice those vacuum just sucking all those fruits, all the liquid. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. as you listen to the sound of my voice, I want you to now use one of those blowers that you see when people mow the lawns. They clean up their lawns by blowing the leaves away. And I want you to begin blowing with these blowers any residual of dead cells, of anything that any virus have caused, and I want you to just blow it away from each one of the alveoli. And I want you to notice how your guardian angels are going to be doing that, and you are going to do the same thing they're doing. Just follow them, or they know what to do, and you just help them by blowing away any residual, so that nothing that is there, especially around those aquatic hairs, so that they will be clean, so they don't have any residual of anything, no dust, no dirt, nothing in it, nothing trashy. Everything's nice and clean. As I count from 5 down to the number 1, you're going to blow with those blowers. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. And now I want you to notice that your guardian angels are going to plug in some sort of drying system. Some people think of the dryers as being those dryers from the bathrooms that are like just blowing air, or maybe a car wash, or even a hair dryer, which really what we want to do is we want to make sure that those hairs that are there in the alveoli are just nice and dry, and that they're moving gently, and that they're easy, and they're going, flowing from side to side. So you're blowing hot air so that they can dry, because we want to make sure there's no moist on the ground, that everything is nice and warm and dry. Let's begin. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. And now notice how those little hairs are gently flowing. And I want you to spray those little hairs with something beautiful, maybe like oil, something oily. Or for some other people, they spray them with something like a mist of something wonderful, maybe like an aroma, maybe like some scented oils with your favorite scent. So they are nice and easy flowing, because now they're going to help distinguish what a virus will look like, and they'll be able to get rid of it, because now they can breathe easily, and they can help now send the oxygen that is coming through them, so that the blood that is flowing like a river, they can take away all the dirt, all the toxins out of that blood, and that they can introduce some clean oxygen into that blood. So now notice how your blood is flowing like a river, and how all these little hairs are cleaning the blood, taking it away, all those toxins, and they're introducing some of that clean oxygen into the river, so that now the river is flowing with clean, pure blood flowing into the system. And I deserve to be healthy. My body deserves health. And each one of my 50 trillion brilliant cells, that are divine cells, they're happy. They're happy because now we have clean blood that is circulating. And that river is circulating to the rest of my organs. And this is the truth about me today. My lungs are clean. And now I'm going to count from 1 up to 5, and with each number you are going to come back up and out, and you are going to feel wonderful, rested, refreshed, as if you had gone in a little vacation, a mini vacation, to the parts of your body that are now listening to you, for you deserve health. 1, coming back into yourself. 2, coming back. 3, coming back. 4, coming back. And 5, coming back and opening your eyes and taking a nice, easy, deep breath. And you can repeat this meditation as often as you need, or you can go to the next meditation.